again, we will now discuss the fly that we're going to fly up here.
Okay, that's the Humber Orange streamer, and that's a fly I devised back in 1981, and it's really taken off. It's been, it's been taking fish all over Newfoundland and Labradors since then, and it's spread out into Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Quebec, and even over in Russia.
Right on.
In fact, that has become one of my better all-purpose flies. I've taken good brook trout on that, and I took a few pike on it, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yes, sir, up in Labrador.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
actually, it'll be interesting for their viewers to see that the way the pike go at those flies,
Yeah.
Some people say, pike, right? But I mean, it's different when you're using spinning gear and fly gear, because when they came to take that fly, it's just like a salmon.
Yep.
It's a really, I can equate it to what I've seen of tarpon fishing. When that big surface slash and whatever, it was beautiful.
Yeah, it was. I remember we tried several. Actually, we used steel leader.
Yeah.
And I think we used a couple of those shrews, I think.
Shrews, tried that out, but the old Humber Orange came along.
Yeah, this one works quite well. Okay, what we'll do now, I'll run through the materials to see that you folks got them. And the materials are as follows right here. The hook is a number 2 SEB. The thread is a red 6/0 Flymaster. The body is fine silver mylar tubing, tied off at the rear with red thread. The wing is dyed black squirrel over strands of fluorescent orange SLF hanks. And the Hackles orange hen collar style. The head is 2 turns of dyed fluorescent orange, micro chenille, and red thread. And that's what we have here. A fine looking fly it is. Look forward to seeing you tie this one, actually. It's a little different from some of the other ones we've done.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a go at it.
Okay, now we're going to tie our thread on, and we're just going to build a little base just ahead of the point. And we'll tie them with 3 or 4 turns. And we're going to go up to almost back to the barb, not quite. Okay, looks good. And then we're going to return our thread. And we're going to whip that off. All we want to do there is just to lay a base down, because we're going to tie our mylar tubing off there, right? So you're not going to see the thread foundation, through the fly.
So what's the point?
What's the point? Okay, now we're going to measure this.
Now, Rob, I think this is the first time I've seen this particular material.
Okay, yeah.
So
It's becoming fairly standard on our rivers now, and it's used a lot in trout streamers and salmon flies. So.
When I meant the first time I've seen it, I meant on the actual show. You
yes.
It. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we've used it for any of the other flies to date.
No. Well, we have used it in past seasons. We actually have taught this fly, but like I said to our viewers, I'm going to just show them a few new twists on some of the flies patterns I've got, or whatever, right?
Plus, we have a whole new range of audience as well, and we're covering a lot of areas, so it's new to a lot of people.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to slip that over. I don't quite like that. It's not quite short enough. I don't want it too long, so around my head area, right? Not my head area, the head area of the fly.
Yeah. Choke, yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay.
So, Rob, why wouldn't this be used quite often? Actually, thinking that basically just it's something like wrapping the body, I suppose, isn't it? It's a little bulkier, no doubt.
Yeah, it's a little bulkier, but sometimes that extra glitter can put down salmon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it just like some days, as you know, fish prefer darker flies than others. Okay, I've wrapped that down a little bit, and I don't like this to be quite too wide. I like it to refer this to as almost a butt, right? I'll just go over it 2 or 3 times, and then I'll just whip that off. Okay. Now, what I normally do, Gary, is I'm sitting down tying a few flies. I'll do at least a dozen bodies and just slip them aside, cement them, and let them dry.
You go that far, for example.
Yeah, and I'll just lay them aside, and I'll just wait till they all dry and whatever, and then I'll sit down and go back at the fly. There's right here now. We got to continue on with the fly, right?
Robert, back to that tubing again. Is there a variety of shades and colors in that? Or
yes, there is. There's, of course, the silver and gold.
Yeah.
You can get pearlescent, and actually you can get tubing that is like green, yellow, purple, whatever. Yeah. So it's a nice material. Now I like to have, and if the viewers can pick this up, I like to have the material running like up and down instead of across. So you'll see right here is running up and down. I can pull that down. Actually, what if I could even push that together?
Yes.
So that you get a nice,
Yeah, I've seen some, right? Yeah,
like
okay.
the boys referred to it as caping body, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I gave myself a lot of headspace because I've got a few materials to go in, and maybe a little bit too much here actually. Now, first wing material to go in is this SLF material, and again, I like this stuff. I usually use what do you call it? Crystal Flash.
Yeah.
But again, I started using this last year, and I took a few fish on it. One memorable fish, I had Stan Prowse from St. John's came out to do some fishing. And it was the last night he was here, and he had finished up, and he said, listen, take the rod and see if you can hook a fish. And I had on the Humber Orange, and I made probably 3 casts. Back and bang and do a nice little fish, you know?
Yeah, it works on that.
Oh, yeah.
I was talking to a chap a while back who told me you met you fishing somewhere at Robinson somewhere.
Was that right?
In this particular case, and just the odds actually you were fishing this particular area for a while, and the boys were just sitting back. So you said, "Yeah, I'm going to move on down," you know. And like you said, he stepped up on the rock and
Bang.
first or second cast, bang.
Is that right?
Yeah,
huh?
it works something like that. I mean,
Don't know who that gentleman was, yeah?
I thought I heard enough. No, I don't actually. Somebody was telling me that the other day. I mean,
Is that right? Eh?
Yeah. They said it's the first time we met. And then you come back and you guys were talking about the flies a bit
Okay, yeah.
and seeing what he was using, this type of thing.
Oh, yes, you got to get that information.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, we got the underwing in of SLF. And what we'll do here now is we'll put in our, stack up this hair. I like, a lot of people, they don't stack their hair wing, right? But
Yeah.
I do. I just like the neatness of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you like the noise.
Nah. There we are. Okay, that's going to work beautifully. Yeah, that's really good. I'll cut it off on a taper and cement the butts.
Excuse me. Table so you can take it in thirds.
Yeah, take it in thirds and it'll give me a nice taper when I go to put my head on, right? Okay, that's laying out just right. Look.
Good.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll just back off a little bit. I'll run it right down and just put one layer of thread right down over those materials.
Okay, looks really good.
Okay.
This week's tip of the week is right here in the studio. What do you got for us, Rob?
Well, I'm just going to discuss with the viewers the reason why I use the particular hooks I do.
Okay.
You'll see that many of the style hooks that I use aren't available in a lot of our stores. It's just because these are fairly expensive brand to buy. They're partridge hooks, but the reason I use them is because they hold up really well. Let me give you one example. I had a gentleman named Clinton Townsend from, he's one of the NASCO commissioners down in the States up to do a bit of salmon fishing. And it rained really heavily that day and all our gear got soaked, you know. And he laid his flies up in the room at his hotel. And the next day we went out fishing and he looked at his flies, you know. And what did he see? The partridge hooks didn't rust. And the other brands, they did have rust on them. You know, even the premium quality, other premium quality brands, which are, a lot of them are chemically sharpened and whatever, you know, and you're paying a premium price. But the partridge hooks held up best. They didn't rust at all, which sort of impressed me. But I like the particular styles they got too. They got a really wide range of styles, and they're all useful. Now, you see that I'm using right here on this particular fly, SEB, the down-eyed black streamer. Just it appeals to my eye, and I have more confidence in it. I've used it on bronze streamer hooks, and it has worked well. Another fly or hook I use a lot on my standard flies are Bartlett Supreme and traditional hooks. Last year, of all the fish I hooked on Bartlett's, I only lost 2, and that was because of broken leaders. Their standard salmon hooks are a nice heavyweight hook. You can hook the biggest of salmon and have no problem getting them in. And it's just a brand that I prefer to use. You know, they're a little bit more expensive, but in the long run, it's well worth it. They're well made, they're well crafted, and again, they're the standard by which all other hooks are judged.
Okay.
They're handmade.
Okay, usually quality does come with price, and
oh yeah,
that's what we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
Okay, Rob, thanks for that.
Nothing too expensive when you're going for fishing, you know.
No, that's for
No
sure.
way.
Okay, folks, we hope you enjoyed that.
I've got an orange hackle here. I like sort of not too light an orange hackle. This is almost a hot orange, deep orange I'll call this. I've got to double it.
Sure.
I could collar it on and just wrap back on it, but I prefer a collared hackle. Doubled it before wrapping. Okay.
I'm just thinking there now while I'm looking at the hook. Could you tie the same thing on a standard hook?
Oh yes, I have, and but I usually use the standard dressing, which is I have a tag of oval silver tinsel and a tail of just orange hackle, flat silver body with oval rib. I use just black squirrel, and I collar an orange hackle and just the regular orange puppy or light orange chenille.
Okay,
No
so
fluorescent.
Just a little variation, no fluorescent.
Yeah. And you know, it works well. It takes fish.
Yeah.
I know one of the boys out in that fishes Southwest early in the year. My guy, what's his name? Paul. Can't remember his name. Every year he takes that, and he, you know, that's one of his first flies he uses opening day, and he always manages to get his nice salmon or a couple of sea trout, you know.
Yeah.
Paul Collins is the gentleman's name.
There you go.
There we go. Now I'm just going to collar that on. Starting to look pretty good, eh?
So it is.
So you can pretty well fish that now as it is, eh? And take fish.
Except for the season.
Yeah.
One good thing about that, I'll get the opportunity because Rob, being a gentleman he is, all these flies that he ties off, he lets me have them. So I'll have a crack at them in the summer. So.
Now you saw me, I just stripped a bit of exposed the core on this micro chenille. Like I say, you just can't pull it off.
No, I understand you.
Yeah. You got to do it.
Chew it off.
Yeah, chew it off. Yeah. Now I'm going to try to measure this properly, so I can get 2 wraps of chenille, and then tie in with the thread and tie off with the thread. But it's hard to do. I can't guarantee my
Your judgment.
No, not on this. So I don't mind tying in by the thread and tying off on the chenille. I could really waste a lot of time trying to get there, you know. But it makes for a neater fly if you do it that way. Sure. I guess we got a bit of time. We can fool around with it, eh?
Sure, size it up. This week.
Okay, and I'll put my hackle pliers on. I'm just going to measure that off with a couple of wraps. 1. Well, I got it worked out perfectly. Look. Okay, now before I wrap that then, what I will do is I'll lay down some cement. Again, durability in a fly is most important. You know, why spend a load of time trying to tie a nice looking fly and then go down the river and then bang, it comes apart.
I guess the only reason a person wouldn't put cement on is certainly not the cost of the little bit of cement you just put on it. I guess it's the effort.
Yeah,
sometimes, you know, they're just whizzing through them and trying to tie as many as they can, you know.
Yeah, especially commercial tires, right?
Yeah,
and you can't blame them for that in a sense. But
that's the idea. I mean,
you know, people can seek out, you know, commercial tires who do that extra little, you know, thing and extra little step that makes for a more durable fly. And the only way to do it is try as many fly tires as possible, right?
Sure,
Until you find the right one who does that. And now you're going to pay a little extra for a better looking fly and a well constructed fly. And as it behooves me why people don't spend an extra $1 or $2 for a better fly, because a better fly will outlast, you know, the cheap ones about 20 to 1, no doubt about it. Well, I guess, you know, that initial outlay of cash sort of upsets some people, but it shouldn't, because I mean, when they look at the savings in the long run.
What?
Yes, sir, guaranteed.
Like any product, certainly, for that matter.
Yep. Okay, there we go.
Okay. Well, that is looking good.
That came out really well, Gary.
I probably won't get that one now.
No, you're not getting that one. Yeah, that's a beautiful fly. Look, hold me back. I'm starting to urge.
He wants to get on the river, the brook somewhere.
Yeah. Now, with this fly here, now again, like I'd have 2 or 3 coats of clear cement on this before I even tie the fly.
Yeah.
And then in the head again, 2 or 3 coats of clear cement.
Okay.
It's important.
Okay.